Welcome. Week 2, Season 2, Episode 2, the SKEAM Podcast. We are here live. Y'all know what it is. I am your host, Main Manifest. To my right, I have...
You have your euphoric releaser, Pookie Long Johns.
To my left, I have...
Hey, it's your girl, Rhea.
Hey, Rhea. And to her left, we have...
What's up? This is Tiffany Monique.
Y'all know what it is. It's the SKEAM team. We here. We always raise our glass and toast to another week of success.
Yes.
Substance. Everybody here? Yeah, we get it.
Oh! Yes, make it splash. Make it splash.
Too much of a toast.
And that was exposed.
Wow. We are here. We clean this up a little bit. Get our dust
look
nice
at you
and
all
neat.
prepared and everything.
I had a feeling it would be like a little overflow. Y'all got to be prepared. They say stay ready, so you got to get ready.
This is true.
So we here. Y'all want to go ahead and get that, ladies. Keep our news desk right. So much going on in this week, man. It's like you got to just press to get here, man. We are happy to be here. We don't take anything for granted. Thank you for everybody who is listening to us live on the WLVS radio page. You guys can watch us live. Please share it. We're on Facebook. You have the Facebook page. Please blast it out to all your friends. Let them know they can watch the hottest new podcast weekly. Bring you that fresh, dope perspective right here live. We have people listening to us, Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, podcasts. I'm trying to get everybody in. I ain't trying to be getting everybody in. Yeah. Pocket Cast, who am I? TuneIn Radio. TuneIn. Shout out to our listeners on TuneIn, Deezer, Stitcher. We appreciate all the love and support. And actually, special thanks to everybody who is subscribing to us on our YouTube channel. Yes. Make sure y'all check out the YouTube channel, SKEAM.podcast on YouTube. You can watch all of Season 1. You can watch the first episode last week of Season 2. And y'all can keep watching us do what we do. We're going to not delay and get right to it. Y'all know how we do. We got DZ in the house. Shout out to DZ. Everybody get him in. DZ. DZ behind the boards making it work. How's everybody week? Before we jump into it, how everybody have a good week? How y'all been?
Very productive.
I see the SKEAM queens looking lovely.
Going
well. Lovely.
Going well, looking well. Going well, looking well, I must say.
Yeah. PLJ, how was your week, sir?
It was very well. I had a good week,
Yeah.
And 420 coming up. So
420, whoa.
Even better weekend.
Yeah, Tiff and green. I see she
going.
Tiff got the green on for the 420.
Yeah. In honor of,
Right.
Started off on the end.
Hey.
Anybody have anything new going? Anything like anything they want to share that happened this week or nah? Regular?
Work.
Hey.
Lots of new stuff at work.
Yeah.
Lots of new stuff at work.
Yeah.
What else? Well, we all know we're going to jump right into it. Y'all know us. Yeah. We get right into it. These know how we do. We start with our sports. Check us out, man. A lot of happenings. NBA playoff time.
Yeah.
Everybody picking the Golden State Warriors. They got lumped up real quick. Your boy Patrick Beverly putting that D on Durant, right?
Yeah. Not last night.
I know Durant.
It ain't happened last night.
Talk about it.
What do you got?
He said, y'all know me.
Right?
Yes, sir. Shout out to Kevin Durant, PG. In
y'all
the house.
Me. I'm
right.
Ronaldo's son.
I'm Ronaldo's son. He said, Joe, y'all better put some respect on his name. Didn't he ask for some respect on his name, ladies?
Indeed he did.
He did. And
sorry. We were talking about this earlier.
Yes,
where was that KD at before though? Like where?
I think he was more like he said. They were trying to play team ball. They have a system that they run in Golden State, and KD doesn't want to go outside it. Like he said, I could shoot over Patrick Beverly. I'm 7'1", 6'11".
Yeah.
He's 6'1" every time. But then, from a basketball standpoint, Steph and Clay, they were not getting their shots. So you tend to get like, when hoopers don't get their shots, they're gonna not play D. Mm-hmm. So basically he's saying I'm a sacrifice. But then he went out and went to work, and we saw the result. So, I think Golden State is still the favorite, even though they lost Boogie Cousins. But
Boogie,
yeah, the Boogie man. That was an unfortunate injury.
Cousins.
Get well, Boogie. You go get well,
that
man.
Knee, right?
Yeah,
See,
no,
quad.
it was his quad.
Yeah, something on his leg.
Yeah, and and then he coming off the Achilles before. That's a rough injury. So he was getting banged up. But speaking of the playoffs, who y'all got in the East? Who y'all think gonna come out the East? It's been some interesting matchups.
Still rocking OKC, man.
Eastern Conference, buddy.
Oh, Eastern?
Yeah.
Man.
Philly,
I don't
Milwaukee.
Want to throw no name out, but
I was thinking
Philly
maybe Milwaukee.
Good.
I know Milwaukee looking good.
I would like to say Philly. They closer.
Philly is good.
Philly close.
Brooklyn is giving them a series. Brooklyn making work too. The Eastern Conference is still wide open. A lot of people picking Toronto as well. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see who's coming up in it. Y'all got no favorites?
No.
It's
I'm
like
gonna just
any-
go with Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Go Brooklyn.
Go Brooklyn. Shout out to Brooklyn. You know, Tiffany from Harlem. We know how that goes. So
And as you should. You should go with
Right.
gotta go with the
Always rep the
hometown,
home
right?
team, right?
You gotta do. Yeah.
Even when they 0-16.
Hey.
They good.
I'm
this
going
year.
Shot.
Listen, I'm from DC, so I'm used to just riding it out.
Right.
I always go with the
Yeah.
home team though.
John Wall been chilling, man. He been AWOL. John Wall ain't been in. He been chilling for real.
What is DC doing, man? They gotta step it up, man. Like, I think they were trying to be in the mix for KD. You know, they say he want to come back east. Most people saying it's gonna be New York. So, you know, I don't know. Y'all think the Wizards got a shot?
Take a
I feel
whiz.
bad if I don't at least say like anything could happen, like
Right.
anything is possible. But
Because it
Nah.
upsets and all, man. You never know what happened.
right.
They didn't think Zion Wilson was gonna lose. He lost, you know. So you never know what goes on in
You never know.
the ball game.
Speaking of you never know, we didn't know that Tiger Woods, young Tiger, right?
Tiger
Standard
Woods.
Sports would come back
Tiger's
and get him a
huge,
Masters
y'all.
wood.
Tiger Woods.
Did that
Right.
shit y'all counted me out, right? He should keep the same energy.
Right.
That same
Right.
energy you had with the
Yeah.
DUI
Yeah.
and all that. How y'all feel about that? Were we rocking with Tiger? Did he get his card back? Is he?
I mean, I'm happy
Wait,
for him.
what card did he ever have that we
I
did?
know, right?
That we-
That he used to
yeah,
get
we
back.
took- that we
Wait,
took
what did we
from him,
take
right.
from him?
He
Rhea always keeps us honest. Did he have a card to be
He
revoked?
didn't have a card to be revoked.
Tiger
Tiger
Woods.
is like you said. Tiger is just Tiger. There's nothing to necessarily take him back for. He is who he is.
He like
Right.
a tiger. Tiger's like white meat. So, you know, he got another
my
one
God.
and he won.
Okay,
I
then.
cannot.
He won. He
Yeah, I mean Tiger. I mean he does what he does. He's the best in his field.
He's wonderful with
One
it.
of the
Right,
best.
right.
He's almost the best.
Salutes to you, Tiger.
Yeah.
I think nobody expected. Like I said, they wanted to see him buried.
Right.
He's on a trajectory to get, you know, the Masters titles and to get everybody. You know, he's chasing the majors record. I think it's is it Arnold Palm? I don't know the golf. It's Jack Nicklaus. Yes, shout out to
was like, Arnold Palmer.
Tyler in the house scheme team. We got
Jack Nicholson.
we got our researcher and our assistant. But yeah, and no, he's back on thing. One thing that hit me about this story, he said, for real, he said, I was happy that my son, right, got a chance to see me win a major. He said, I have been telling him that I'm nice. Y'all know how that go. He said, his son was going on YouTube like, I don't believe
Like,
it.
I don't know.
But when he was right there and to watch it live, that's good. And we always like a comeback story. You know, they stripped the man down. You know, he's responsible for his actions. But just to see him come back, you know, that's like a testament to people who've been through stuff. Like, yo, you don't let people count you out. You know, whatever happens, you can come back and win it. So shout out to
Yeah,
Tiger.
and
So inspirational.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but I also feel like this was not a sport meant for him. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't meant for us to be winning in a sport like golf. So good for
Right.
him.
Yeah.
You know, as a mixed, you know, man or whatever, he deserves his title. He's been working hard his whole life and he's been a champion his whole life. So good for
Absolutely.
him.
Personal
Exactly.
issues aside, he's great at the game.
Right.
So it's
right.
Exactly. You're listening to the
He's
Scheme
only number
podcast.
2. Like, I mean, he's still on a track to becoming number 1.
I think he's gonna do it too. But you know what's funny? They had predicted that. They said, Joe, the way he hits the ball, you know, the way he's swinging so hard is so crazy. He gonna have back problems, and so the man couldn't even like lift the club. They come back and they changed the golf courses for him, and so you know he's still here. But that's Tiger with it.
Yeah, well, just to see when he made that last putt, just to look at the reaction from the crowd, it just made me feel like everybody who against you just turn them into your fans, and that made me like, I was like really cool.
So let me ask y'all: do y'all think we should root for Tiger going forward or not? This is the same guy. Well, this is the same guy who said, "I'm not black." You know, not that you have to root for
He-
people
He
that's
didn't
black.
say he wasn't black. What was it? It
He-
was
he didn't identify himself.
So I think it's a natural inclination for anybody. We meaning black people as whole still use the little one drop rule. So as long as you got to drop a black, you just
Abraham
supposed
Lincoln
to
black.
identify
Abraham
with
Lincoln
the
black.
culture.
That's right.
And so when someone doesn't do that, it's almost like how dare you? You know, not. And I don't think he totally off put the blackness. He just was like, I am a bunch of things, and so
Right.
why can't I identify with all of them? Why do I have to just pick one?
Did he say that?
I mean,
I thought-
She's
essentially,
like, yeah.
essentially is what he was saying, and I don't know that. I think it's just a break from what is typical and what is expected, but I don't think it's a reason for us as a community not to support him or root for him.
Right. And I feel like, he's a product of his community. I mean, he grew up in Orange County. He is of mixed race. I cannot tell somebody else how to handle their blackness
Right.
or any other, part of their ethnicity. Like, who am I to tell you how to handle who you are? Like, that's ridiculous.
Right. I mean, it's just a toss up. I'm
And
tossing
also,
up the shit here.
what has he done? Like, what has he,
Well, I
done
feel like his
anything
answer.
negative?
The reason I asked the poser question, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Tiff, my bad. But I feel like he kind of shunned. Some people go out of their way to be like, no, I'm not black. And I think a lot of people took that. That's what he was doing, right? That he was basically saying like, don't mark me as this. Don't identify me
Like
as
it's
that.
a downgrade. Or
Right.
something.
Right.
Like what the fuck is wrong with being black?
I
so
take it as
that's what I'm saying.
he's like,
yeah.
don't identify me as one thing
right.
when I am of mixed race. And also, like I said, he is from Orange County. It is what it is. Like, he's a product of his environment. Who am I to tell him anything?
Right.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's fine.
I mean, he hasn't done, has he killed someone?
Yeah.
Like, what has he done? Has he said, has he outwardly said negative things about black people? No. He's just living his life.
Okay. You got it. So listen, we're gonna keep it moving right along to knowledge. Our next topic of knowledge. There's a lot of stuff going on, man, and we want to bring some light to this. That's what we do on this platform. Did you guys know about the 3 churches that were burned down? 3
Indeed.
churches got burned down, right? In Louisiana, actually by a sheriff's son.
Right.
They kind of
Damn
tried to
shame.
sneak that in. But again, we're gonna bring that to the forefront. I think they caught the dude. Now I don't think they did catch the dude.
Yeah.
And we gotta follow this. We want to see what
Sheriff's
yeah.
son.
We want to see what happens. Is there are they gonna bring those
Whoop his
charges?
ass.
Hate crimes and all that.
They need to. Now, the full extent, I mean, so one of 2 things that happen, and if it gets enough publicity and enough push from the public, then they would do something just to make an example of this person. But if it kind of fades to black like it already has in the media,
Yeah, you're not
then
even
it's
hearing
going to
about
be
it.
just like all of the other crimes that are happening against black people or black communities that just kind of goes, if at best, a tap on the wrist and nothing else.
Right.
And that's why we got to keep bringing it to the forefront on these platforms, on this platform. Shout out to WLVS. You listen to the
WLVS.
You listen to the SKEAM podcast on wherever you download podcasts, and you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook. But that's why we got to bring these topics to the forefront because
Right.
people don't talk about them. There are a
Right.
lot of people that probably don't know about it, and y'all could trust but verify. We always want y'all to trust but verify. Go ahead and Google that story. 3 churches burned down on the low. They talk about other stuff, but they ain't talking about that. And I just want to know, like, when stuff happens to us in our community, it just goes like, okay, 3 cooks burned down. In other news, Kitty, they turn the narrative real quick and just, you know what I mean? Go ahead, Rhea. Yeah, I know. She about I saw her. Yes, look. I know. Rhea be ready. You see her matching, right? I see us matching today.
We're coordinated.
Yeah,
we're coordinated.
Coordinated. Not matching. Coordinated.
Coordinated.
got
So,
one
but
camera
no,
too.
when it comes to
Talk about it.
when it comes to things like this,
Uh-huh.
so we discuss generally what's put in front of us,
Okay.
and what's put in front of us is determined by all of our news outlets, and our news outlets aren't run by people who have our interest. Are invested in that. So, a lot of times, especially when it's with stories about the black community, we have to seek out this information. It might be just like a
Right.
line where something can happen in Paris, not anything in particular, but like something can happen in another country, another European country, and it's broadcast all day long. It's headline news. It's interrupting your normal broadcast. But if it's happening in Africa, or if it's happening in New Orleans, or if it's happening in something or a place that is predominantly black, it's just not
Right.
covered. And so we, as a community, have to be more thoughtful about seeking out information and publicizing it on whatever platform you have so that people can talk about it. Because if you never know, if it's not widespread, then we can't keep it on the public's mind, and we can't impact change on a broader level if it's
Right.
just not discussed enough.
Right.
Yeah, but on a broader level, when I heard about these, because I heard about it on social media, because I follow activists and a lot of people that kind of follow these stories and bring these stories to the light. But I took it as it's not a national priority. You know what I mean? Like these issues that happen in our communities, they're not a national priority. And I took it, you know, like in the same way that Katrina was responded to, or when the earthquake in Haiti happened. Like what happened after that? You know what I'm saying? So even though this is a smaller, you know, scale of terror, you know what I mean? It is something that I feel like is not a national, it's not a priority.
Only time black churches gonna matter is at election time when they want votes from black Christians.
Right.
That's it.
Something got to happen to that dude.
Exactly.
Something got to happen to him because when they build another one, they just gonna keep doing the same thing over and over.
And
like
that's
when
what I
we
was
gonna get a church that we could praise.
That's real. That's real talk. I was gonna ask, do y'all think he gonna be charged? Y'all think he's gonna be charged?
He'll be
Yeah,
charged.
I think he's gonna be charged.
He's gonna be charged. I just don't think that his punishment will be nearly appropriate to fit the crime.
Right.
I don't know because I mean, from what I saw, he had video recording of the fires. He was bragging about it. So I feel like with all the evidence stacked against him, there's no way that they can't throw the book at him. I mean, I know it happens every day. But I just think that something is going to happen to him.
Yeah. No,
He's
something.
I think
definitely
that
agree.
he's definitely going to get the book thrown at him a little bit.
I don't know if the whole book. He going
Not the whole book. A few
He might
pages.
get a chapter
A
too.
chapter, okay.
A chapter too. Only because he's the sheriff. So I feel like we're either going to hear some mental health.
Yes, because he is the
stuff.
sheriff's son.
He's the
Yeah.
sheriff's
He
son.
gonna be at the sheriff jail, so it
yeah.
ain't gonna matter. They gonna babysit
It's going to be
his
like
ass.
mental health or some type of breakdown. You know, his girlfriend left him or whatever. Or it's going to be something, and they're going to talk about all the good things that he did do in his time. And so, you know, they have the whomever sentences has the ability to give him the least amount of time or the maximum. And I don't think that.
But y'all remember
But
when the guy walked in his church in South Carolina and shot him up, you know, and that was tragic. They took him to Burger King. Right. That's what I'm saying. They be
Got him a
playing.
double Whopper.
Don't even get me started.
Yeah, they be playing, and people lost their lives in that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not a guarantee, right?
That's true.
Automatically, he's going to be charged. Where we at, Tiff? You had something?
Yeah, and one of the articles that I saw, one of the news articles online, they called him a pathological fire starter. Like
he's an arsonist.
This is a pathological. So it's like
he's an arsonist. That's
he's
what it is. And if it was a black man who did it, it would just be that.
Pathological. Fire starter.
I promise you, if it was a black dude,
like,
they
oh,
would have
wow.
gone and found the most ignorant picture with him
Is that a
holding up
thing?
bottles or a blunt in his hand or lighting a match
That
or something
sounds
like
almost
that. And it would've
scientific.
been
He's a
all over.
pathological,
Exactly.
you know, fire.
And they're going to use that to tie back to
the fuck
mental
outta here.
health or,
Reason
you know,
why he
And
like
pathological
ridiculous.
is a psychological term. You know what I'm saying? It's a medical
and
term.
and that's how it starts. They shape him as someone that's a victim of his
Right.
environment and use that as an excuse to feel a little bit less outraged by what he did.
He was always hot as a baby, so that's
right.
why he had to play with fire. It was just
he
his
had
nature.
no other
It was
outlet
his-
for his
That's
anger and
right.
That was
rage.
his toy.
Right. So that's what they do, man. So we gotta like I said, we're gonna follow this story and make sure we come back with
Don't
updates.
forget
because
about it.
on this outlet, we're gonna make sure we can keep bringing those stories to the forefront. Moving right along because we got so much to cover in entertainment. You know how we do. There's a lot of stuff that happened this week. Or last couple of weeks, whatever. We just want to touch on it. Real quick shout out, tying into the sports. Shout out to Russell Wilson. He had become the highest paid quarterback, right?
Good for him.
He is living his best life. Him
Living
and
his best life.
They
right?
are doing the most.
He
I
made
love
the
it.
video. He made the video with
Money
Sierra,
Russell.
and she's in entertainment. Are they moving? Are they the newest power couple? Like, are they up there?
Well,
They're not J&B, we know that. But I mean, where do they rank? As far as celeb power couples, you
I
got
don't know. They're
Cardi
going up.
and
I don't think they're.
Offset and
Yeah. They ain't even
I don't know. I guess
Are they up
they
there?
should. They're probably lower on the list.
they
but
got a one
should.
seed. They got a one seed in
Y'all
attorney,
both,
don't they?
Y'all
Yeah.
both gotta make some more than 2-3 million. I think he make 3, 4, 5.
He got
times more than she
140.
do.
Sierra
Yeah, but
got
what does
hers.
power couple mean? Like,
Right.
is that like a status symbol?
a
Is
term.
that like
It's like
you
a
know,
Will and Jada.
superficial?
I know.
Is that
I'm
think
just
they're
saying.
just like- they're like
superficial,
couple goals
term?
right now.
Come on, like what does it mean
Is
to
it
be a
the
power
love?
couple?
They're like
what are you
relationship
doing?
goals.
Is
Yeah,
it
yeah.
love
They're
or
relationship
financial?
goals.
Okay.
So let's
Relationship
talk about it.
goals.
Let's unpack that. Let's stay right here. Go
You
ahead.
know, like we're talking about relationship goals. Okay, you know,
Yeah.
they seem
What
like
they
a very
project
nice
seems
couple.
amazing,
They
yeah.
seem like a very nice couple. But what else? What else do we know about these people? We can't just go labeling them, power couple. Like if they don't
make it
do
like he
anything
bought
for-
Sierra's
'cause they
Masters.
celebrities.
That was dope.
That was
so that's
beautiful.
like clearly
They do
talking
stuff
about
for
the
themselves
investment.
and their family. Correct.
We kind of do throw power couple around loosely, but
Yeah, like, what does that even mean?
But when you think
let's
about
name
it,
some power couple. Go ahead,
so
Rhea.
he's successful in his career.
Uh-huh.
He's making like investment moves that are gonna solidify their future. He's
Okay.
helping his girl do the same. Sierra has a reasonable music career.
Okay.
She
CC.
Do y'all
Love
think?
CC.
Let me
We
ask y'all
love
this:
CC.
Do y'all think both the man and wife have to be like on or doing something or famous or celeb to be a power couple?
Yeah, that's
Y'all
what
do?
they call
Yes.
a power couple, celebrity couple.
I don't think that. I'm gonna tell y'all what. I don't. So okay. So
I
we
don't either.
power couples we know. Of course, Barack and Michelle. Salute. We know that, right?
Celebrities.
Jay-Z and B.
Celebrities.
Y'all throw out something.
everybody you just named, the wife
Celia
is
and
doing a
Harpo.
lot of stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna name a power
Not
couple.
Celia
I'm gonna name
Harpo,
a I'm gonna name. He said Celia.
Till he beat her, they was a celebrity
Yo,
couple.
I'm gonna name a power couple. Right? Watch this. LeBron James and Savannah James. Come on.
Nobody ain't gonna say that.
They are a power couple? Yes, or no?
Yes.
Exactly. And what is
Yes.
she doing? She stayed behind the scenes for a while.
Well, I don't know what she's doing. It doesn't mean she's
Exactly.
not doing anything.
That means
Okay,
that
maybe she's
she
just
has
home
his
raising her
back.
kids. Watch this. Maybe she's just home raising the kids. I know there was a report a couple
No.
years ago that listen, wait a minute, that LeBron had to kind of push her out in the forefront because she's just like chilling in the back. So that's what I'm saying. Some
I like a
people,
woman like
Chilling
that.
in the back doesn't mean she's not doing anything. I
Right.
promise you, she is absolutely involved
I
in
agree.
the decisions and the moves that he's making. But you say do nothing but be a housewife. Like
I
she
didn't.
just
I didn't
sits-
say that. See how Here's coffee too strong. Come in here. Let's. We're not gonna overgeneralize.
Okay.
We're not gonna overgeneralize.
That was a trigger.
Okay,
That was
I'm
a
sorry.
trigger.
Episode 1.
Let me
She didn't
dial
like
it
that.
back. Let me dial it back.
We are 605.
We are not aware of her power moves, but I believe with a husband who is doing the amazing things that he's doing, you can't tell me that she's not right there.
I never said
with
she's
him.
not. Rhea, you're making
so,
my point.
I'm not
Mowing the
saying
lawn.
I'm just speaking
Talk to me.
generally. So I guess yes, they can be considered a power couple because I'm pretty sure she is very much active. So like
Yeah.
when you say where the wife isn't, just because she's not public and like always in the spotlight doesn't mean she doesn't have
Right, that's
a
what
lot
I'm
of her
saying.
own things
I'm saying.
going.
I'm
could
saying.
just-
I don't
can't
think
even
you have to do
imagine.
that.
I can't even imagine what it must be like to be with a celebrity. Like the stress and all of the changes that you have to go through in order to keep this or to stay in this person's life.
Is
or
she
to
checking
be in
his
this
phone?
person's life.
Y'all
I think
That's a
certain
lot.
men.
It takes
Listen,
a
real
lot.
talk. Good point, Tiff. What I'm saying is, I think that on certain level, when you get to certain remnants levels, whatever you want to call it, you have to know how to be with a man on that level. Like you're not supposed to be on. I believe.
Or
I don't
woman.
know, or woman.
Vice
Okay.
versa,
yeah. Oprah Stepman. Are they married? No. Anyway, but I believe the Jameses are a power couple, even though she's not in movies, acting out front, all that. You know what I'm saying? You could be supporting, holding your man down and not doing it. And I think we're in a day where everybody wants to be a star. Everybody wants their followers. Everybody wants that. So we don't see that. Some cats could just, my husband hold it, Stephen and Alicia, right? Or Aisha. Is it Aisha?
Aisha.
Aisha Curry, right?
Yeah.
She doing her thing. Steph winning championships. She came with the cooking show on YouTube. Power couple, like so. It's cats doing things in different ways. It don't have to be I'm in the front, you in the front. Like Rhea smiling. She, come on, Rhea. Come
No,
on with it.
I'm not
Yeah.
disagreeing with you. I'm just
Okay.
listening to what you're saying.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying she's doing nothing. I don't think it has to be.
That is
you a
kinda what
star.
you
I'm a
said at
star.
first, though.
No, it wasn't. But they're gonna pull the tape.
But-
we being recorded. Stay with me.
But what is your definition of a power couple? So
We didn't
it's
know-
like,
that's
is
what we
it-
gotta get back
we
to. Let's go back.
Do we look good together? Are we spreading the hashtag Black Love? Like what does that
Like,
mean?
is it love
Good
or
question,
financial?
Tiffany. Great
Does
question.
that
Let's
make
answer
it?
that. Go ahead, Rhea. You got it.
Because-
What's a power couple?
Because I don't like the superficiality of it. That's all.
And I don't think it has to do with necessarily just celebrity. There are people who
Oh,
are in their
yes.
communities who are doing amazing things
Oh,
that can be
yes.
considered power couple.
Right.
Oh,
So I
yes.
think it's extremely subjective.
Right.
So as you
Nelson
were alluding
and
to.
Winnie
Right.
Mandela. People like that. Like we could go and go down that road. Rest in peace, Nelson Mandela. But for real, like there are people who doing it like that, right? Who power couple, right? Who can be considered Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, and Rosa Parks. What I'm talking about? Coretta Scott King. That's my coffee.
Right.
But I'm saying seriously,
I think it has more to do with impact, like people who are actually impacting, whether it's just their community and the family, or if it is on a larger scale and they're celebrities. But power couple to me means people who are actually like there's direct benefit from them, and whatever platform they have, they're actually using it for the good of more than just themselves.
Okay, so bring it back
Let
full
me ask you a
circle.
question.
Go
Let me
ahead,
ask you a
go ahead,
question.
go ahead.
Would y'all call like being married 30 years a power couple?
Not necessarily, but I think that's an amazing accomplishment.
That's all they get? That's nice.
No, that is being married to a person for 30 years. That's significant. But like again, power couple to me, my personal definition is what is their impact outside of being married for 30 years.
I think that society today, we just put too many labels on things like that. It's just not necessary to even consider anybody that. Like let these people be married and do their thing
And live.
and just be in love and
number
and
one
live their
and
best
3
life.
and 5 and all that shit.
But that's what I'm saying. So back to the original question at hand. Are Russell and Sierra, are they a power couple?
They looked at as the power couple.
We don't know these people. They look great together. They seem very in love and very happy, and I'm happy for them. So if that makes them appear powerful, I don't really see how I don't see the correlation. But love is powerful. So I guess yes.
She looked more.
Love is a powerful thing.
She looked happier than he
She
was
looks
when they
amazingly
announced
happy.
the things.
Right.
She knew she was spending his money. She
She's
spent his cards.
his biggest
spending his
fan.
money.
What are you talking about?
Because she used his cards.
He
That's
said
why.
spending his money. She's his biggest fan. She's supposed to be
Nah,
his
that's
biggest
good.
fan.
That's right. That's right. But
You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask
I
you.
like the image. I do love though the way that Russell Wilson embraces her son, and I think
Yeah,
that's a beautiful thing.
that the idea of the blended family and how he shows love for him, I think that's beautiful.
Let's
And
talk
just
about
that
that.
image
Right.
alone is.
Let's talk about that. And that's why I want to go. Why do y'all, two-part question, why do y'all think celebs always date celebs? And like, I'm not going to give my opinion, I'm going to go last, but I see the way they're building. Because you got to remember, right? She dated Future before. So, I don't know we don't know what their dynamic look like. So we all on the outside looking in. Let's put it all in context. We're on the outside looking in.
Right.
But when you talk, I heard y'all say relationship goals, y'all head bopping and all that. That's what I'm saying for real. So that's when to me, a power couple is something that a couple can aspire to. Like, yo, we can do that. We don't know how they are in their personal lives, but it looks like he's maximizing achieving in his field. She's maximizing achieving in her field. They're maximizing achieving together. Their family looks good. They're doing things. They're making an impact on the community. That's a power couple in my, in my book. So
Working together.
Okay.
yeah, working together. So that's the definition of it. So, are they? I would say they are. They grinding, they doing it. It ain't just about bread, because they're power couples out here, like you said, Rhea, doing it, that they don't just have the level of finances that they have. But, we want to when we see that, we should big up to that, Nipsey and Lauren.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Nipsey. Rest in power, Nipsey. And shout out to Queen Lauren. Like, we sent positive energy her way. Those are people impacting, doing things. So we want to continue to give positive energy and big that up, because you gotta give people their flowers while they're here. There are a lot of people I think that are doing great things, and so like I said, if they're a power couple, give it up. If their relationship goals, give it up. It seems like y'all said their relationship goals, right?
Well, for the reason that I said, like the blended family aspect and how they seem to show a lot of love for each other. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, that is beautiful. And like you said, the whole blended family, that's a hard thing. That basically you're inspiring by being a blended family, because a lot of people can't do that. A lot of people can't say, we've had children, we've both had children by the same man, and we can, still get along and do things as a family together. That's a hard thing. That's a hard thing to accomplish. So that, if we're looking at it in that aspect, but I feel the reason why I brought up the question about why, what is a power couple is because, social media and society, we kind of just, we've made that a superficial thing. It's about looks and what appears to be good, and it's really not about that. What are you learning from this couple?
Go ahead, talk about it. If you was in an open mic poetry, that'd be snapping. I mean to go ahead. Keep unpack that. Let's
No,
go.
but I mean, like what is inspiring us about this couple? Is it because they appear beautiful? They appear to be a beautiful family. No, it's about what we're learning, what we're taking from them, and how they're inspiring other people to be better.
So what's a power couple to you, Tiffany?
I don't like that terminology.
What terminology do you like, Tiffany?
I don't like to put people in boxes like that, but I mean, I just feel like a power couple is, number one, you are individuals before you are with that person, right?
Wow.
You're an individual, you're strong.
I like that.
You are complete by yourself.
Amen to that.
And I feel like that is what, if we're going to be talking about Sierra and Russell, they are complete all by themselves.
Tiffany, top 3, we don't say power couples, top 3 couples that you admire, aspire to, or would you say a relationship goals? Not top 3. Give me 5. Just give me a couple 5. Put you on the spot.
He
5?
totally put you on the spot.
4,
Okay,
3,
damn.
3,
Just don't do that.
5, 4.
Give me a second, okay? First
Give
of
me a second,
all,
let me think about it.
okay.
First.
Because no, I just like where you're going. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I just like where you're going. Real talk. And what you're saying is awesome, and I agree. So since you don't say power
I
couples,
don't know if I can give you 5 off the top.
I'm not off the top, but-
One of my favorite couples is
Okay. I wanna see if you're gonna say who I think.
Ruby D, and Ozzy.
Mm-hmm.
Remember
I
them?
support that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The singers?
The actors,
Okay.
right? They were actors.
Yeah. What we do.
Let's see. I mean,
Will and Jada.
Michelle O
Michelle
and
Obama.
Barack.
What
That
about
one.
what about Will and Jada?
Will and Jada, they're a beautiful couple. Yeah.
I'm just hearing what you're saying, so that's what I'm trying to say.
I'm trying to think about before our time. Like,
Yeah. I mean, that's enough. You aim 3. No, I hear what you're
Yeah,
saying.
okay,
Like,
whatever.
cause Will can stand alone, Jada can stand alone. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. So again, when one person can stand alone, the other can stand alone. I feel that.
yeah, and they
when
won't
you-
fall
your own-
apart. So, and I feel like what I like about Will and Jada, I mean, since you brought them up, is that they've kind of like, they have a crazy
Yeah.
foundational like system. Like they just made
Yeah.
a complete like what's the word I'm looking for? It's like they surrendered.
Yeah.
They surrendered to their
That's a good word.
entire life, the life that they were planning to build with each other. They surrendered to it and were able to, like, they're able to withstand it all. They know, like, I
love
feel like
that.
we know, like, this is just not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I love how they shared that journey and what it
Yeah.
looked like,
They
and
in
how they
sync.
had to kind of tear it down and rebuild the marriage and take away all of their expectations and preconceived notions about marriage and try
Right.
kind of figure out what
Correct.
made sense for
What
them.
works for them.
Talk
That
about
was
it, T.
powerful.
You said they in sync. How?
Yeah.
Talk about it.
They in sync, so they both of their they agree with each other with their relationship, how they gonna run it and what they gonna do in their relationship. They all work together because they agree with each other. They probably argue, but they know how to argue to understand each other.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can tell that because it's evidence in their kids. They got their kids on the same trajectory. They got their kids doing their thing. And when you
Yeah.
see that foundation set, the system,
Yeah.
he buying in, she buying in, that's what I'm talking about. That's
Yeah.
like,
And they let
Yeah.
each other be completely themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
See, I
that
was
is,
getting ready
I
to say
think
that.
that's powerful. They have come to a place where they can embrace the other person, not for what they hope they're going to be or what they want them to change into to make the other more comfortable. Like they embrace each other as individuals, and they just kind of navigate through those differences in personality to make it work.
Yeah, and I like couples that are completely different, like completely opposite,
Yeah.
but then they get together and they're able to figure it out and work.
Right.
Like to me, like Jada and Will, I mean, they look great together, but they seem a little different.
They're very
he's
different,
He's
yeah.
goofy. I mean, he's a comedian, and
Yeah.
he's an actor and all that. And then same thing with Michelle and Barack. They just seem like completely opposite personalities. You know what I'm saying? Although they were on the same, they kind of had the same career path, but they just seem like completely different individuals. And I like to see them. I like to see people like that come together. And just going back to, you talking about Nipsey and Lauren, they just kind of seem different. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
seem different, but they are.
individual.
complement each
Both
other.
doing their own
they
thing, but
complement each other.
complement
Yeah, it's like the yin and the yang.
Absolutely. We're going to pick this back up. Hold on. Go ahead. No, real
Well-
quick. We're going to take a quick. You got something you want to go
Yeah,
ahead?
I just wanted to know, would y'all classify Oprah and Stedman as a power couple?
Sure.
Yeah,
why not?
absolutely.
But
Are
what
they a
Stedman
couple?
do though?
Yes, they're a couple.
But
They've
they
been
said
together for
Stedman used to
30
hoop.
years.
They said Stedman used to hoop. though,
Oh.
Stedman
back
is a
in the day.
very successful businessman.
Yes, he
Oh, okay.
is.
All right.
Yes, he
I don't know
Yeah.
much about
Don't sleep on Stedman.
So I want to
Right.
know, would
She
y'all
ain't gonna stand up
classify
for no
would y'all
reason.
classify Oprah and Gail as a power couple?
Don't do that.
Here we go.
Don't
Hey, we're
do
gonna take
that.
a quick break. Listen, we're gonna take a 60-second break, real quick. 60 seconds.
La, la, la.
Y'all run to the fridge. We know y'all getting ready for the club tonight. Or what y'all doing? Go ahead and iron them jeans. We're gonna take a quick 68-second break, and we're gonna come
68
right back.
seconds.
This is a Scheme
Very
podcast.
specific.
Rock us out, D's.
Thank you for.
Man, drop that shit for these fuck niggas. Either way you put it, nigga, I'm good. Triple salute, nigga, straight out there. Make a soda water splash on scale. My
That was 77 seconds. We off our pace now. You gotta get better. I said 60.
You know what?
Yeah, we got
was on
9.
CP time.
Yeah.
We was
I
on
said
CP
68.
time.
So we
Yeah,
9
you sure
seconds.
did.
9 seconds.
We
was
gonna
on
we gonna
CP
we gonna get
time.
better. We gonna get better. We gonna do
Thank
better.
you for staying
Yeah.
tuned.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. We are here. Y'all see us. Follow us. Follow the Scheme Instagram. We are Scheme _ podcast on
That's
IG.
right.
Make sure y'all follow
Yeah.
us. Scheme _ podcast on IG.
Yes.
Again, a YouTube channel, Scheme.podcast, Facebook Live. Thank you for everybody who's watching us. We see y'all. Next week, we're going to have y'all call in. We're going to have y'all call in. We're going to give y'all the show.
We gonna
Like,
give
you
y'all
see,
some time.
listen,
Cool,
we got a lot of stuff we bringing to y'all. So thank y'all for, staying with us, working out. We still on entertainment. Something happened that we want to talk about. The young
boy.
brother Kodak Black, we was talking about it. It's interesting. We're not gonna stay here too long, but
No, we don't need to.
the record says he got caught and locked up for what he did. How y'all feel about that? Thoughts? We had someone on our panel that was shooting him shooting him a lot of bail, and it seems that things happen. But again, they say what goes around comes around. Karma's real, whatever you want to call
He's
it.
an idiot.
Wow.
I mean, he's
Let's
young
just
and
start
dumb.
there.
He's 21 years old. He think he's the man.
Bail.
He's making more money than
She got stock
what
in
he's
Kodak
used to.
backpack.
He's what?
But
What
why
she
are you
said?
bringing guns and weed
I
into
mean,
the
you
U.S.?
know, like I said,
Tiffany.
young and dumb. I'm not
I
saying
agree
that
with
that's an
that.
excuse. I'm saying that that's the reality. That's a fact. Okay, he is not. It's like he doesn't even know how to love himself right now. Like you don't even know how to care about yourself. That you would do some dumb mess like that. And get yourself jammed up. You already got enough legal issues,
Right,
sir.
he has like a rape charge. He has some he was on house arrest.
Yeah,
Like
he has some other charges that were dropped, but yeah.
and
he
then you
still
want to
has
top that
one,
off
yeah.
by bringing weed and guns from Canada,
to
Canada
another. You going to another country
into
sir?
the U.S. That's just stupid. He's an idiot.
Yeah.
I think. Go ahead, P. Go ahead.
Hey,
Canada. I know, right? Right up there
Canada,
in our neck of the
right
woods.
by the low.
Buffalo,
I went
shout out to
across the
low.
border, but I never, did nothing. You don't play with them border
Yeah, them
police.
border.
They
Yeah, you will
talk
be
Have
French.
you
him
not
up.
seen
They all
Locked Up
talk
Abroad?
French.
They hit you with the bright lights at the border. They be right in your eye.
Yeah, I've been through the search going through Canada before. They thought we had
Yeah,
something.
we
They
from
checked
Buffalo. We
our
from the
bags,
town, so
checked
yo,
the back of the
they
car
will
and
pull
all.
you over. You be at the
Wow.
border and you be at a random car. They be like, yeah, go right there. You be like,
Well, yeah, and with Canada legalizing weed, obviously, it's just even more reason for them to be more, critical at border checkpoints.
checking
Like,
everybody.
so why would you do it? He need an uncle or somebody in his life, just like yoke him up real quick, because I think he's an idiot.
Not
Yes,
a social
he's young.
media. Not a social media.
not a social
uncle.
media when he needs
I'm
somebody
talking
like
about
in
a
real life
uncle.
to-
Or,
to-
social
somebody got-
media uncle.
I'm
Whoa,
saying,
whoa, whoa, whoa.
I'm
Everybody
We
want to
got
give
that off.
saying.
Whoa.
everybody want to
What's
give
this-
love and be mentors on social
That's the
media. He
thing.
needs a
No,
real
everybody
life
wants
jackass.
chastised and all of that. No,
What's the social media uncle? Talk about it, Tim. My bad.
A social media uncle is the same kind of no shade because
Right.
I understand the
Where
reason.
they put
why
up a
people-
post, come on, young bloods, you need to uplift,
Not only that, or do
and
the
that's
whole,
it.
no, do the whole video
Okay.
thing. Like I'm checking you on Instagram because you
you
shouldn't have
real
said
life.
and done what you. No, bro.
shooting
Like
this-
I need you in real life to pull up
I'm
and have a
shooting-
conversation.
No, I'm shooting the social media.
Mentor
Bro, I
young
can't
young
talk.
dude.
The social media uncle some bail, because sometimes these young knuckleheads, like I said, the only people they listen to is social media. So maybe that person
That's
is
not
thinking
true.
that
He
they
needs
reach-
to come in.
No, they
He needs
resort.
real
I
life.
don't agree. I think the same way that people resort to, playing video games all day instead of reading a book is what people, it's like what they know.
What they're accustomed
What
to.
they're accustomed to. If you don't take the initiative to try to have a conversation with him in person, like of course he's gonna,
What if that
depend
call
on-
out? What if that call out on social media sparks the? All right, let me pull up. Let me take you
That's
to a
fine,
restaurant.
but it just
Let me
needs to
do
go
it.
beyond social
Yeah,
media.
but you don't. But come on now, especially celebrities. Like everybody got everybody's number, or they can
Right.
get it. Like there is no need
Everybody
for
got
that.
everybody
We
number.
don't need. To
You can get in
know.
touch
Number.
when you're
Yeah.
You can get in touch with their
We
people.
don't need to know what you do. Like we don't need to know that you checked so and so, because he did X, Y, and Z through social. We don't need to know that. If you're real about yours, if you really care about somebody, nobody needs to know the efforts that you make in order to try to help them grow. Period.
I can rock with
I
that.
support
Pete,
that.
What you?
I think people's personal experiences make them change and be their own person. Because if you following your uncle and all your uncles act the same, you're going to act just like your uncles. But if you
Correct.
go through something that make you see something differently, you're going to not be like your uncles and act a different way. So he probably got a lot of people around him that act a certain way that
That's
You know,
stupid.
I mean,
like
he's
him.
a product of his environment too.
Right.
I
He's,
get
Same
it.
he's
way.
consistently dumb. Like he's consistently
I
doing
mean,
dumb
but,
stuff.
like, let's
and
not-
so it's like whoever's in his life is not cutting it. He needs somebody with a little bit more capacity and maturity.
Yeah, but let's not pretend like some of our most woke and grown up and mature celebrities have not done the same dumbass shit that he's doing today. He's 21 years old. Like,
See, that's how you learn.
And
though.
he's 21. No,
What do
now
we
I agree.
expect?
He's 21 and he's rich and so that
exactly,
really
he-
does.
Yeah, it
takes,
really
like, when you-
losing his mind. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
And then everything is so public. I am so happy that I grew up in a time where social media wasn't a thing because I didn't
too.
need my formative
I
years
know. We
captured in
talk
such
about
a way.
that. But listen, yo, we was just
I
talking about.
need
Shout out to Ed Good, Ed's Good Scheme Team. We see you, Ed D. We was just talking about this. Like, yo, if we would have grew up with social media, what we were doing.
Nope.
We was caking. We were throwing donuts at teachers and oh my goodness, they know.
What?
Shout out to Hutch Tech. That's crazy. That's a whole.
not doing that.
We didn't
What?
do that.
What?
no,
was
I
doing
was
that.
not doing that.
Y'all wasn't doing that. I'm just telling you, some of the stuff that went down, we would have been. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
It
I'm
was-
just glad it
But
wasn't.
what I'm saying, like, that is the way. Seriously, guys, that some of these young cats, they whole life is social media.
But I think
Y'all saw
that's
the
part
girl
of the
who was
problem.
crying.
That's true.
When her IG got taken down, she's like, "I can't make money. I'm gonna lose." She was crying because her IG got taken down. She couldn't get followers. That was her whole life. It's like, for real, like she was hamstruck. That's a real thing. That's what I'm saying. Like these kids are tied to this.
It is
And
very-
I-
it is
I mean,
very-
business.
I'm
It
a kid
is.
too, but you know.
But it really does change your ability to socialize, and so they are
man.
their reality is shaped by things that aren't real because social media is just the best pieces of yourself, the best pieces
Absolutely.
of your life, the things that you're comfortable with everybody seeing through whatever filters that you've already put in place. So everyone's living up to this aesthetic that's not even real, and they are trying to get validation in this way that's just completely impossible to maintain. And so it creates this false sense of life and of what's important. But that again is the reason why people, especially in that little boy's situation, you need to approach him in real life because you have to appeal to him on what reality actually is outside of this world that is created through social media.
Yeah, I had actually posted something today that said, validation is for parking, not to be sought after in other people.
I saw
Okay.
that. Purposeful motives.
I need to
For
find
real,
it
though.
and
I told you
repost
she on
that.
a roll over here. That's it. She on that
Yes.
green 420.
You better go.
Taurus season. Taurus season.
You know it.
And I'm telling you, but you know what though? And we right into appearance, how it appears. And it's funny that again, some of these young cats, they think this social media, this Instagram, this all this is the appearance. This is how it appears. But we know that we have been like, we grew up face to face, hand to hand. Like this was more real, talking to somebody eye to eye
Yeah.
versus all this text and type because we didn't do that. And so with that said, I want to talk about this is another thing that's going on that they get a lot of coverage in the media, but the gangs are uniting the streets, and all the hoods and all that things are. We got a proper perspective.
Rhea. Come through, Rhea.
I'm trying to
listening.
listen. You see it, and again, the brother Rizza Islam who's doing amazing work. Shout out to Rizza Islam again. We're gonna keep bigging up the people who are doing the work, who are out there. We're doing our part on here to continue to push and talk about the people who are doing it. And I'm just so excited to see that again, us coming together, streets, hood, all those things, and it's a difference between first of all the streets and the hood. You could be from the hood and not from the streets, so that's number one. We grew up in the hood, we're not a street, you got streets do. I went to college, I got a job. I'm not a street guy, but I understand the streets, I played sports. We actually entertained the streets. I remember the street guys used to come to our games, football, high school, the Hutch Tech versus City Honors, the Ben King games, the inner city versus the vets, and they would be betting sometimes, putting $10,000 on a hood, JFK fruit belt with all that. And they also admired that the people who went to school. That's one thing that respect had. I remember, the fact that we weren't the hustlers. They admired that we was trying to do it a different way. Now they didn't agree with that. Of course, obviously we didn't agree with that. But I say that to come up with LeBron James. He came from the hood. He's not a street guy, but he understands. So you could come from the hood and not have to be streets and all that, and not have to be fake gusto and doing all that other stuff. So. You gotta understand, yeah. CB4, right? Yeah. And I'm saying it's good to see that come together. It's good to see people stand on their stuff to say, you know what, we're gonna stop killing each other, because everyone want to talk about black on black violence, but to see people put down the guns, unify. I see side eye from Rhea. I'm about to, yeah.
What?
No.
It's not side eye. Go ahead. Okay, I might have misread it.
No,
Go ahead.
not at all.
No. You got something to say, Queen?
I think everything that you're saying sounds great. Yes, unity, all that.
Sounds
come
great
together.
or is great?
It is wonderful.
Dramatic pause. Here we go.
No, everything
They
that
gotta pay attention. I know my
everything that you're
callers. I
saying
can
is
read
good,
it.
and I
Listen,
100%
we getting
agree
better.
with it.
You listen to this SKEAM
It's just that we also need like a plan to sustain this. I think that you see, folks coming together and everything after a huge tragedy, but then, it goes right back to the same thing. So after the photo ops and after that moment has passed, then what's in place? Like, then what's happening? In when you talk about, now I'm not an expert on gang culture or anything, but like there used to be like at least even some honor among thieves. Like you had folks who they might have been doing drugs or whatever, but they looked out for the older people in the community. They looked out for the
Right.
kids in the community. They tried, but now it's just crazy. And it seems like there is no guidance, and you have these horrible incidents that happen, and you have this moment of unity, and then it goes right back to the same things.
I don't think that's the case right now.
Okay.
Because what's happening is the Jay Morrison, Tulsa, Oklahoma fam. Shout out to Jay Morrison, buy back the block. Rick Ross, buy back the block. Again, Nipsey Hussle, rest in power, buy back the block.
So,
And,
yes.
there's action taking place. This is not just a kumbaya moment. We are buying land, buying real estate, buying up buildings, teaching real estate.
So if you would
using that-
allow me to finish my statement, I would say that investments like that are what you need for the sustained change.
Okay.
You need people to invest in the communities. You need people who are giving folks alternatives to what they've been doing and what they've been seeing, and providing more mentorship, more opportunity to not live that life. So that is where you can see the sustained growth and change. But I do think though it still is a lot right after a tragedy. There's a lot more emphasis on it, and then things still kind of die down. They don't move at the rate that they could. Killer Mike been talking about investing in your community and all that stuff.
Mike. Shout out to Killer Mike.
I love
Yes.
Killer Mike.
Yeah.
So like there are things that we need to be doing, but it needs to be ongoing and needs to stay a part of the consistent conversation. And we need to be instilling these things in our younger generation so that they have better alternatives and we can really make a change.
But that's what I'm saying. We doing that. I'm gonna come to P and then Tiff. I think we're doing that. So that's what I'm saying. The ones you named, we are doing it. And again, that's why we want to continue to big those up, give the platform to that, and make those, what enlarged and bring awareness to that. There is so much awareness already. So we just want to give those the proper spotlight because people are doing that. You know what I'm saying? So when we see that coming together, when we see that unity, this is what we want, right? This is what.
Right.
So how did that make you feel? Let me ask you, man to man, as a man, to see men coming together, men being like, yo, that used to be my rival for so many years, but I'm gonna put down guns and stop killing him and go after that because it's bigger than me. How did that make you feel, brother?
No, this shows progression in the race. So that's what we need. That's what we all looking for. So, I mean, more awareness and everybody see it, then they could react and act differently. So hopefully that's what overtakes the population of the race.
Tiff?
So I think that I'm kind of on the same mind track as Rhea. It's like when I first saw it, I was like, well, this looks good. I love to see people coming together and unifying, but what is the plan? For me, the thought that comes to mind is like, first of all, you have to take accountability for yourself. I understand we're all coming together and it looks good on camera, but are you really taking accountability for yourself? What do you have to show for yourself that you are really trying to unify and do things and take actions in the community that are going to be beneficial to everyone? And also it's like, did it have to take I don't know any of the politics of gang culture or anything like that, but it took one person, granted, a phenomenal person, to ignite this. Mm-hmm. This is the.
All right, we in manhood now.
Who is that one person?
We on man.
Can we pause there just for a second? I'm sorry.
We in manhood. Yeah, we still talking. We still talking. We in
okay.
manhood. But let's go.
Okay, so let's talk about manhood. Because there were a lot of men up there, preaching unity, but it's like, okay, as part of a man, as part of being a man, or in general, since we're talking about manhood, we're going to, are you taking responsibility for your actions? Are you really going out into the community? Are you are you doing the outreach? Or is it just for show for you? Like, what are you actually
So
doing?
let me answer. You asked 4 questions. You asked 4.
Okay,
I'm gonna answer the first 2.
They were okay.
I'm gonna answer the first 2.
Go for it.
Okay. So the reason we're in manhood because number one, we are doing that, and I'm aware. You talked about gang. You don't know about gang culture, so I'm aware of gang culture. I've never been a part of a gang or affiliated, nothing like that. But what I'm telling you is that is significant. So we can't say, oh, that's cool. And like, if you're not aware of that street code and all that stuff, you can't just dismiss small progress. And see, that's what we have a tendency to.
And that's not what I was doing.
She's not dismissing it.
I wasn't done.
She's not dismissing it.
I know.
I'm not dismissing.
We're in manhood. I'm gonna bring it all together.
Bring it all together.
So there is a plan of action. And so, the nation and some people who are, Farrakhan, I see Farrakhan and all those guys, they do have a plan. And that's why, again, a brother Rizza Islam, a brother Louis Farrakhan, all that, the Million Man March, the nation, if you went to those conferences and all that, it's good. Leaders. We could talk about this. You asked, does it take one guy? When that guy was instrumental and monumental in doing those things and not just talking about it, actually doing it, that's why it's so powerful, because we can see the example of what he was laying and doing and building that foundation. So sometimes you can be like, oh, this is what we're supposed to do? So now sometimes they say, like, in death you could be more magnified. He was more magnified.
All of his efforts were magnified, right.
He was more magnified. When Big died, rest in power to Big, man, he was more magnified. They're like, yo, this East Coast, West Coast shit is bullshit. Like, what are we doing this for? So sometimes it's the sacrifice to make somebody greater. Martin, Malcolm, and all these guys, when you start to do that, that's more magnified. So sometimes for some guys who are caught up in streets and gang culture, when you see the death of a real one and stuff like that, that makes you wake up to be like, that makes you wake up to be like, yo, what was he saying? Now you go back and listen to his music, his legacy, the stuff he was doing, and you see that he had $1 billion project, buying back restaurants and communities and all that type of stuff. You be like, oh shit, this is what it is.
Then you get informed.
Now you get informed. Now you doing it, and that's the progress. That's what we talking about. Now you see cats be like, yo, fuck this left, right, east, west, red, blue. We coming together, unity, doing this shit. That's what's happening now. So I want to ask y'all, ladies, how does that make y'all feel as women when y'all see men coming together? And then I'm coming to P. As a man, when y'all see men coming together, again, when y'all see that happening, this is unity. Like, right, wrong, and different. It's unfortunate. It's so tragic that it has to take death for it to take place, but it's happening. It's happening right now.
So can we answer the question?
Yes, that's your question.
Should I go first for you?
Go ahead, Mama.
Yeah.
We got
So to answer your
45,
question.
45. You see it?
Okay.
We got 45
We
seconds.
got 45 seconds, y'all. So the answer
62.
The answer to that is, how deep is your love for me? You know what I'm saying? So what you do in front of the camera should be done twice as much behind the camera. You know what I'm saying?
Agree.
So if you're gonna put that out there and make these efforts to try to make it seem like as if you are doing a lot for the community, I expect twice as much behind closed doors. Like, effort should just be effort regardless. Do the work. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I love it. I do love it.
Awesome.
I can't wrap my answer up in that short time.
We're
So I'm
65.
gonna co-sign
I'm nervous,
everything
yeah.
Tiff said. I'm gonna co-sign everything she said, but I think it's so much more than that. And I just think that
Right.
it's a mindset that we have to change in people.
Right.
We can't wait for a celebrity to do it. We can be teaching our young high schoolers how to build wealth now, so they can start investing in the community immediately. We don't need a celebrity to do it. Each and every one of us, if we could come together, get our credit right, spend more money on investments instead of buying dumb, useless name brand stuff, we could be buying up our blocks. We could be investing in our own future, and that's part of it. I know you're saying we're doing it, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that it could be so much more, and it should be so much more.
P?
And that's it.
The slow progression is better than none, So as long as we going towards something positive and good, I feel like we in the right direction. So that's all.
We're doing it, man. We got to keep doing it, keep it in a proper perspective, keep moving forward. We're going to keep growing, grinding, doing everything we doing. Shout out to everybody who's doing it on to get better. Let's get better today than we were yesterday. And then we get better tomorrow, right, than we were today. And then you put a day by a day, you put a week by a week, a month by a month, and you see growth. Hey. This is Scheme Team signing off. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all like. Make sure y'all watch us. We going to see y'all next week. Fridays at 10.
Next Friday.
Fridays
10
at 10, 10 p.m. Eastern.
10.
Check us out. Scheme Team.
Rock with us.
We out.